Warning, the RCWR show with Lee Sanders is intended for a mature audience only. The following is an Infinity One Productions presentation, keeping it honest, insightful, and interactive. Covering the latest in wrestling and beyond since 2011. You're listening to the RCWR show. Now, your host, live from the nation's capital in Washington, D.C., Lee Sanders.
Hey, good kind people, what's going on? Lee Sanders here, checking out an all-new The RCWR show, covering the latest in all things wrestling, entertainment, and beyond since 2011, Sunday night, February the 14th, 2021. And we are here talking wrestling. We're talking NXT Vengeance. The pay-per-view just went off the WWE Network not even 5 minutes ago. So I definitely want to sound off about that event. It was pretty good. I got to tell you, to pretty much put a bookend to the weekend, to pretty much put a nice bookend for those that were celebrating Valentine's weekend. Some of y'all got a 3-day, you got a little 3-day event thing going on, man. Hey, as always, appreciate you guys. Take time out, check out the show, be it live or on demand and on the download. Streaming right now, keeping it real easy tonight. Streaming on YouTube, also streaming on the Twitter. Use keywords, the RCWR show. Wasn't able to sync up our Twitch audience in time for this one, so kind of a memory muscle lapse. Look, I gotta be honest with you. You guys have no idea. Your man has only gotten almost 4 hours of sleep since yesterday. I had work, and then as soon as I came home from work, I won't bore you with all the details. I'll talk more about it on Monday's RCWR show, but I went through, as far as putting together our 8th annual Slow Jamming with Lee event. We had a couple of hiccups when we were live, and now I'm seeing firsthand there's a reason why I actually prefer just kicking back, being in post-production mode when it comes to putting the Slow Jamming. Try to do something cool and try to do something nice and live, and it seems like the hiccups just comes about. But in case you missed it, yeah, the 8th annual Slow Jamming with Lee special had dropped Valentine's Day night, early morning. So when you get done with this, check it out. It's available wherever you get your podcasts on all the respective platforms. But yeah, between that, editing some audio for some clients, and then also working on a couple of assignments related to school, I only was able to get about 4 hours of sleep because I wanted to make sure I had a really nice, fun time hanging out with the missus and everything. So from my household to yours, I hope that your Valentine's Day weekend was pretty good. You were able to spend that time with that significant other and everything. But yeah, I gotta tell you, this was a really good NXT Takeover event overall. I've been checking out NXT programming here and there. There's been a couple of episodes I missed. I sadly wasn't able to offer any predictions on what I thought was going to be going on with the pay-per-view and everything. So it was actually nice to just kick back, watch this pay-per-view, and just, okay, let's see what NXT got in store for this weekend. And all the matches, really, I had no problem from the opening match all the way to the main event match. I didn't have a problem with the pay-per-view overall. I thought it was pretty solid. Jump right into it. So, pre-show. I'm looking in the notes here, and I really, that's the thing about this, I really don't need notes like that when it comes to this bad boy. I really don't. But I was curious if they were going to be doing a pre-show. 6 p.m. on the East Coast, tuned into the network. I didn't see a pre-show. I said, oh, okay, well, cool. I went and watched some vintage episodes of Forensic Files and checked a little bit of Black Lightning out, get ready and everything. But then something said around 6:50, see if there's a pre-show. Maybe they did something around 6:30. Sure enough, there was a pre-show that they did. However, there were no dark matches or a pre-show match. So for those of you that were wondering, you didn't get a chance, there was no dark match. There was no pre-show match tonight. 5 matches on this card. This is going to be one of the quickest pay-per-view recap shows we're going to be putting out there for you guys. There's no reason why we need to be long-winded with this pay-per-view recap, man. There really is no reason. Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez facing Amber Moon, Shotzi Blackheart, Women's Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic Finals. Winners of this, remember, receive a future Women's Tag Team Championship match. Team of Dakota Kai, Raquel Gonzalez going over Amber Moon and Shotzi Blackheart. Look, anybody that has been checking out the shows on a regular basis that I put out, y'all know how much of a big fan I am of Raquel Gonzalez. And if you actually frequent other podcasting forums and discords, things of that nature, you'll definitely see that consistency that I always have for Raquel Gonzalez. It carries over. I got to tell you, one of the things that I had enjoyed about this tag match, straight up, I love the psychology that was used in making Raquel Gonzalez be this unstoppable of a juggernaut force, if you will, not from a Nia Jax standpoint, so to speak. I don't want you guys to think, but, I love the whole psychology that was broken down, because it seemed that they had to throw any and everything at this woman. They threw the kitchen sink and then some at this woman. And I was just loving that. Raquel Gonzalez is a freaking beast. She is somebody that I have quickly taken a strong liking to early on. And I'm loving that girl's work. Seriously, I am loving that girl's work big time. But yeah, it was nice seeing the double team be applied to Raquel Gonzalez to really heighten how much of a menacing threat that she poses. I was enjoying that. And I also love the fact that the points where Gonzalez got in on the offense, I mean, she was doing some sweet ass spots. I love the spot there almost towards the end of the match where, for you guys know exactly what I'm talking about if you saw the pay-per-view. I love the part there where her and Amber Moon are fighting outside the ring, and she just pretty much flips Amber outside, sends her slamming to that black part of the ramp, the licorice part of the ramp, as I like to call it, because that's what came to my mind as soon as I had saw how that ramp walkway looked. It seemed very licorice, like black licorice. And you just hear Amber Moon, the way she landed on it, you're like, ooh, that sounds like it's gonna hurt in the morning, man. And they're fighting outside, and Gonzalez follows up with just this mean-ass shoulder tackle. It wasn't even one of those full-blown Goldberg type of moves. You feel where I'm coming from? It wasn't like one of those, I'm gonna just, stay in one corner and then I'm just gonna charge at you, and, wasn't a spear. Again, a shoulder tackle. It wasn't one of those, one of those charging, coming at you full steam ahead tackles. I mean, freaking Raquel Gonzalez was just casually just walking, trying to get to Amber, and when she saw Amber was starting to come to, Raquel just wham, just whole cold shoulder tackled the hell out of homegirl, and that pretty much was it for Amber. I was loving that. I'm loving it. Raquel. It's been a minute, because again, I've missed a few shows here and there. I think I've probably missed about, I would say, as far as NXT goes, I've probably missed about 3 shows. So I mean, that's not really too bad. But you'd be surprised. Even though you miss 3 shows, it feels like when you come back, you're watching with a newer, fresh set of eyes. Things that maybe you didn't notice before, you're going this go round, now you're noticing it and everything. And one thing that really stands out to me with Raquel Gonzalez the most, I would say, from watching her first pop up in the whole Mae Young Classic tournament, and then just watching the evolution of her from then to now, more personality has developed. Because that was one thing that I kind of noticed early on. It's like, okay, yeah, this girl's got a lot of potential, but not necessarily what's her gimmick, what's her character, but we need to kind of fine tune things a little bit was what I was most concerned with. And in due time, and the timing was okay. It wasn't like it took a long time for Raquel to get to the point of where she is right now. The team of her and Dakota Kai, I've seen so much praise for Raquel Gonzalez. I definitely want to sing a lot of praise for Dakota Kai. And look, I will be totally honest with you guys. Dakota Kai, for me, Dakota Kai, it was almost one of those early on when I was watching her in her NXT career. It was one of those, well, gee, I don't really know. And the reason why I didn't really know was because I'm seeing what's in front of me, and all I could basically see is, well, yeah, she's okay, but I'm not really getting anything personality-wise out of her. She just seems like your typical. This was way before she went the heel route, mind you, way before she went the heel route. And then once she went the heel route, I said, okay, I see a little something here. Let's see how this is expanded upon. Okay, you kind of got me. There's one thing that I cannot deny about Dakota Kai. Homegirl is a freaking workhorse. I mean, she gets in there. She is down with the grit. I definitely have got to give her props for that. I mean, that girl will sell her ass off like a mofo when it comes to bumps. I mean, I have seen her in my time watching her career in NXT so far. If she's needed to tell a significant part of a story in a match and she's got to do some serious bump, that girl can definitely do some bumping. So to see the team of Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez going over as tag champs, totally fine with that. I think it's the right move. I actually felt that it was a smart move. Look, not for nothing, but let me flip the script a little bit just for a hot topic. With regards to the team of Amber Moon, Shotzi Blackheart. Look, Shotzi Blackheart, without a shadow of doubt, Shotzi Blackheart is definitely a future multi-time women's champion. As far as in the WWE universe, oh yes, hands down. If we remember this on this night, remember what I said to you, I believe earlier this week on the RCWR show? Remember the prediction that I had put out there about Bobby Lashley? Remember what I said? For those of you that don't know, I had said on this Monday's RCWR show, if I'm not mistaken, I said with regards to Bobby Lashley, just everything that's going on with this dude, I would be shocked if by, say, October 1st of 2021, Bobby Lashley hasn't become a world heavyweight champion. And I told you guys, I said, mark that down on your calendars, because if we come to that point in 2021, yeah, we need to be asking ourselves, what's going on here? What the hell happened? So when I look at Shotzi Blackheart, I definitely see a multi-time, for sure, at least, if you were to have me put a bold prediction out there, I would say if she hasn't been at least a 2-time world champion by, I would say, March of 2022, what's going on? Seriously, what's going on here? It would be my question. And you would like to think at that point, you would have to factor in between NXT and then maybe getting the eventual call up to the main roster. I definitely see between now and March of 2022, she gets that call up. So if she has not been, at least at that point of March 2022, a 2-time women's champion, that's another one of those cases where you go, what's going on here? But the sky is the limit, or in this case, there really is no limit. Of that girl is just badass, oozing charisma from the minute that she comes out and all that. I know some people don't really particularly care about her howling. I'm all down for that. I mean, it's all part of her persona and all that. I like that whole punk rock acid type hot topic gimmick thing that she's got going on. I love all that. Amber Moon, I love Amber Moon. I do. I followed her career when she was Athena. I've said this many times over the years. Look, I just don't know. I just don't know. This ain't about, man, you betraying your own people. You supposed to be sticking with your brothers and your sisters. Why you betraying your own kind like that? Nah, this ain't about race, okay? This is not about race. Amber Moon, I can only see but one particular dimension with Amber Moon. That's what's going on, sadly. And look, I know there's a lot of people that are Amber Moon fans, and they're going to disagree with me on this. And you know what? That's okay. That's what makes this world so beautiful, especially in the United States of America, is the freedom of speech. You know, just because we disagree on something, hey, it doesn't mean I hate your guts, doesn't mean you got to hate my guts. We just have a disagreement. But for me personally, I see no charisma. I see no personality whatsoever from Amber Moon. And if I have to point out a most recent example of what I'm talking about, just look at when Amber Moon first came back to NXT. That promo was just, whew. What was that? Mama wants some new titles, or Mama wants some new skin, whatever the hell that was. That promo was just, okay, damn, girl. Like, seriously, I mean, really, just take a step back. Just think about the storyline for a second. Forget about how much you love Amber Moon and just focus on 1 second. You cannot deny this. You're going to be like, Lee, that's a good point. Think of the storyline here. She's been out for an excessive amount of time because of a significant injury. And this injury, she said in a few interviews, I just don't know. I don't know what's going on. I think my career might be over. I'm not really sure yet. I'm weighing in my options. I'm not playing my fans. I'm not trying to play my base. Seriously, I don't know what's going on right now. Okay, so you have all this that's going on. Okay, you finally defy the odds. You got a full recovery. You're back in the ring again. Got this whole story arc that's going on, and you're like, who's this Max person riding around on the motorcycle? And I'm like, what the hell's going on? Then once we see that it's Amber Moon who has this whole Mad Max type of ordeal, you know, that's going on or whatever, you know, you're like, okay, well, you know, cool. I guess we could get behind that. Okay, cool. But then we hear her, you know, essentially her first promo since the big reveal. You know, it's the whole Mama needs some new skins or whatever, and you're like, that's it? That's it. You know, where's that fire? Where's that passion? Where's that, you know, we hadn't seen you in so long. It was like, you understand what I'm saying? So, and since that point, it's just good talent, without a shadow of doubt. As far as the in-ring ability goes, and people that love Amber Moon, please make sure you're really homing in on what I'm saying here tonight. I'm not shitting on Amber Moon's in-ring ability. Long before many of you guys even jumped on the Amber Moon bandwagon, I was following this girl's work on the independents. I already knew how phenomenal she was in the ring. Right? That's always been consistent. That's never been a problem. To the point, my hat's off to all 4 women in that NXT Takeover opener of a match tonight, because that was a freaking classic. So much so, I've got to respectfully give that a Match of the Year nomination. It's not my Match of the Year winner. I'm just saying, you got to put that on your list. And I think anybody that saw that match tonight would agree. Yeah, you definitely want to have that in the back of your mind when it comes time for the year-end awards and you're looking at all the promotions, trying to figure out what was the best matches from this promotion, what was the best matches from that promotion. By the way, with regards to Takeover Vengeance, I got to give mad props for the opener. Who knew that Triple H was really down with his rap and hip-hop? Seriously, I got to give it up. Now, let me make sure I'm pronouncing my man's name right. Is it Joe? Yeah, God. I'm just going to call him Jay Williams. Looks like Josiah? Joshua. No, it's Joshua. Yeah, it's Joshua. I don't have my glasses, so I'm kind of struggling. It's a little fuzzy right now. Looks like Joshua. Joshua Williams of Wrestle and Flow. I got to give him mad freaking props, man. You guys, you got to go out of your way if you got the WWE Network, or maybe you could find it on social media. But his rap intro for tonight's Vengeance, and you heard me right, it was a rap intro. It wasn't okay, look, Jay Williams, it wasn't like he was out on the stage and he was rapping. It was nothing like that at all. It was a beautifully post a well-produced, post-production type of video that they did where he was brilliantly able to incorporate all the wrestlers' names, talk about the main theme that was going on. It reminded me so much of Neo Soul. Neo Soul, and if you don't know anything about Neo Soul was essentially a period in time in the early to mid 2000s where we had the likes of Maxwell, Lauryn Hill, Common, The Roots. Those were Jill Scott. Those were essentially D'Angelo. They were pretty much the neo soul movement in the early 2000s going into the mid 2000s, and actually the late 90s going into the mid 2000s. Erykah Badu. You could even put Music Soul Child in there to a certain degree. And when you listen to what Jay Williams had put out there tonight for that opener, it just took you back. I don't know how it was for you guys, but if you know a thing about me, a thing about particularly my YouTube channel, I'm all over the place when it comes to reviewing albums, music from various genres. So I know my shit, basically. But for me, and I'd like to know, if it had reminded you of that particular area that I'm talking about. But it reminded me of the neo soul era for hip hop, R&B, rap, definitely. And nice, good old school feel that it had to it. I loved it, but obviously up to date, and it instantly made me a fan of his stuff. So much so, I instantly followed him on Twitter, and I followed the Wrestle and Flow joint. But it was a nice dramatic departure from, because when you stop and think about it, really pump the brakes and think about it. Typically, when you get your NXT takeovers, you're always getting, you're always getting that. And look, I like that type of metal, thrash, acid, whatever. I know a few times they've gone to the well. They've done some stuff with Poppy and all that. I mean, that's cool. But for me, I care a little bit more about, okay, either give me a talent that, okay, that's banging. I mean, that's really banging. Let me tell you something. I enjoyed what he did tonight, definitely to the point of, okay, I'm going to see what's up with his catalog now. I'm sorry, I didn't get that feeling when it came to Bad Bunny. Look, I know Bad Bunny, he might have done whatever X amount of downloads on Spotify and a few other places, you dig, but just because somebody is second in downloads right up under The Weeknd or whatever, it doesn't mean that, oh, well, you have to like them. And look, I know there's a lot of you guys out there that didn't particularly care for Bad Bunny. Hell, some of y'all didn't particularly care for The Weeknd at the Super Bowl. And it's not a race thing. It's just a matter of your taste in music. Don't feel bad if you don't particularly care for those particular artists or other artists that you may have a different opinion from those on social media. I have to say that because it was quite sad to see the number of people that were honestly just giving constructive feedback about, I don't particularly care for that artist. Yeah, his music doesn't really. And they were being lynched online. They were being ridiculed, insults, name calling. It's like, and the sad part is it wasn't like a lot of these people that were throwing it out there, wasn't like it was kids. And that's one thing if you say, look at the profile. Look at the avatar. Look at the profile here. Look at this. It's just some 12, 13-year-old. These are grown-ass men. In some cases, grown-ass women that were hurling these insults to, at times, teenagers. And you feel where I'm coming from. So, but yeah, I was into his stuff more than those guys for sure. Bad Bunny. Just food for thought. But yeah, check it out. So let's go to our next matchup. Next matchup for the card, Johnny Gargano. Oh, by the way, that women's Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic Finals match, that went about 18 minutes, give or take. Look, I love the fact that at some point we're going to see Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai face whoever the women's tag champions are. Honestly, you can't help but really think about it, is it possible that we might see those girls at some point lock up with Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler? Is it even possible? Nah. It's possible. I would say most likely not. I kind of feel as though, look, would it be nice? Yes, it would be nice. If you're asking me, it would be nice to see those teams somehow collide. I wouldn't mind seeing Gonzalez, Nia Jax. I wouldn't mind seeing that. Definitely. But come on, you kind of have to think as far as what WWE likes to typically do. And it just feels like maybe somewhere down the road, we're going to see a babyface women's tag team. And then you pretty much insert Dakota Kai Gonzalez to pretty much take those women's tag titles off of that babyface tag team. So you guys may be saying to yourselves, well, who could eventually dethrone Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, Lee? Two teams really come to mind right now. It could ultimately be Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose. You got to follow the consistency, right? You may not like it, but you got to follow the consistency that's been told. What have we all been complaining about, essentially, when it comes to that women's division in WWE concerning those tag titles? The lack of, really, a women's tag division. Really stop and think about it. So, I would have to, again, we're talking about babyface female tag teams. You would have to put them at number one. And not for nothing, but Lana and who the hell was Lana teaming up with again? Can somebody remind me? Whoever Lana was teaming with there for a brief minute. It's been so long, I can't even freaking remember now. But if you maybe want to tell the ultimate underdog story, and Lana and whoever her tag partner is become tag champions, that's a direction that you could entertain as well. But that's what I'm kind of seeing, honestly. If you ask me who would I prefer, and please don't even bring up SmackDown, because there is a lack of a women's tag team, if you even want to call it that, as far as on the SmackDown side goes. So it's kind of irrelevant right now. They really got to do a better job in building up that women's tag division, hands down. They got to do a better job. But yeah, it really could end up being Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose. So just keep your eyes peeled on that. I could also see Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan. I could ultimately see that happening as well. One of those teams for sure. That's a babyface tag team. One of them for sure could dethrone Shayna and Nia, should dethrone Nia and Baszler, and then Dakota Kai Gonzalez gets the titles off of that respected tag team. We'll see how it pans out. Next matchup, Johnny Gargano, Kushida, North American Championship. Went about 26-27 minutes long. Johnny Gargano retaining the North American Championship over Kushida. Look, good match. I thought that both men complemented each other's style extremely well. I mean, they had really great chemistry in the ring together. I'm definitely not going to deny that. But, for me, look, I got to tell you, I was really, really pulling for Kushida. Legit, I was pulling for Kushida. Not because, it would have marked the first time that a Japanese wrestler had became the NXT North American champion. Nah, it wasn't. Again, nothing to do with race. For me, just followed his work, New Japan, and checking him out in the various promotions and all that. Off to a bit of a rocky start in NXT. We all can definitely admit that. But to see this new mean streak demeanor of his that came out, several weeks ago, you're like, okay, let's see where this takes him. Let's see what this culminates to. I've been enjoying it, and I was really pulling for him. I just kind of felt that Johnny Gargano at this point, title or no title, he's Johnny freaking Wrestling. He legit is Johnny freaking Wrestling. You can just ask Johnny Gargano to go out there and wrestle with a candy bar, and he will make that shit look entertaining. I'm talking about candy bar and the wrapper. Like, here you go, Johnny Gargano. Here, take this king size Snickers. Wrestle with that for about 10 minutes. And he will make it entertaining as hell. There's definitely no doubt about that. So for me, I'm at a point right now where I'm looking at Gargano specifically down in NXT, and then I'm just saying, title, no title. He really doesn't need the title. You know, just the fact that you're able to wrestle somebody like a Johnny Gargano, I mean, boom. I mean, you pretty much have elevated your stock essentially, right? So I was kind of hoping that Kushida would actually go over in this one, but sadly he didn't. Little sad by that. Closing moments of this matchup. By the way, I got to go back to the pre-show one more time because there was a huge bomb that had dropped during the pre-show. I'm glad I actually was able to see that, so I'll definitely comment on that in a hot second. But final moments of Kushida taking on Johnny Gargano. Bear with me a second here. Let me see if I can pull it up in my notes here. Yeah, here we go. Kushida runs down the old school out, hits a kick to the arm, applies the hoverboard lock. Gargano able to get out, connects to the ropes, gets a rope break, pretty much whipping Kushida's neck on the ropes. Gargano hits the one final beat on the ramp, and boom, adds another on the inside there. Successfully is able to retain, and that's how Gargano was able to pull it off. His team, his wife, Indy Hartwell, Austin Theory, they were doing a whole battle cry right before they came on out, but then something weird happened. We saw Indy and Candice LeRae come out with Gargano, but for some weird reason, Austin Theory was nowhere to be found. And so Gargano actually tells the girls, look, I'll be fine. I got this. I got Kushida all by myself. Y'all go find out where the hell Austin Theory is and take it from there. And so, by the way, got to give an honorable mention to Gargano. His ring attire tonight was badass. I kept looking at it. I'm like, man, badass. He was pushing Wolverine colors, the whole design and everything. It was really freaking cool. It gave me a Wolverine and the X-Men vibe. I don't know if you guys remember that animated series. Didn't it last like 2 seasons, maybe 3 seasons max? I had enjoyed that series. That was actually one of my favorites. I was a little bit disappointed it didn't run a lot longer, but just the way he had came out with his cool yellow, dark navy blue jacket, it kind of gave you, again, Wolverine and the X-Men vibes. Good stuff right there. Now, I just said a few seconds ago, we got to go back to that pre-show one more time. Something significant did happen. So this was my first time watching an NXT pre-show. Not being long-winded, I just want to say that full disclosure, right? I believe in transparency. I don't know the name of the guy. Is he with Barstool? The blonde-haired kind of thick guy? Is he with Barstool? Am I understanding that right? I don't particularly care for him. I don't particularly care for what he has to say. He doesn't come off, and the reason why I'm saying, I know it sounds harsh, but just hear me out. He doesn't come off energetic. He doesn't come off charismatic at all. You know, if we're all about giving a person that's, you know, basically an average Joe an opportunity to talk about the WWE product, trust me, all you got to do is just go online and you can find yourself a good handful of independent podcasters. You can find yourself people that just honestly, that they just love talking wrestling. There are other personalities out there, Joy Styles. I'm just saying, yeah, you can find other people. I get it though. Before anybody explains it to me, I get why he's there. I get with the whole WWE partnership and all that. I get that. I'm just saying, you know, Sam Roberts. I'm always happy to see Sam Roberts. You know, he grows on me. You know, he's been growing on me for a while. I like to do it. I got nothing bad to say about Sam. Sam's pretty cool. Sam does pretty damn good interviews too, in his own respected right. You know, unlike some people, all they can do is just fluff question after fluff question after fluff question. I'm not saying you got to go all Geraldo Rivera. Yeah, I'm not saying you got to do all that shit, but yeah. But during the pre-show kickoff, we saw former Impact Wrestling talent, former NWA, National Wrestling Alliance talent, Eli Drake. And apparently he's now known as, and I want to make sure I'm remembering this right because I had another name for him, which I'll talk about in a second. Apparently his new name is L.A. King. And I think I might have messed that name up. I might have been very kind to him calling him L.A. King. Because when I heard him say that fucking name, all I could think of is L.A. Law. You know, and I'm definitely showing my age here because if you guys... L.A. Knight. I knew it started with a K. L.A. Knight. That's his official name in WWE Universe now. L.A. Knight. Some of you guys may be saying, nah, Lee, you're L.A. King. You know, I don't know, man. That kind of had a better vibe to it. No, L.A. Knight. L.A. Law. Again, I'm showing my age, but there was a hit NBC series back in the day. It was called L.A. Law. You had Blair Underwood when he pretty much was starting off his acting career, just starting to chip at the stone, so to speak. Jimmy Smith's great cast. You had the guy that was in the Dentist 1 and 2. I always forget his name. I believe Michael McKinnon was part of the LA Law cast as well. Long before Law and Order and all that stuff went down, you had LA Law. Look it up. Go on YouTube. I'm sure you could probably find some episodes. But the one thing that always stood out to me about LA Law was the long, dramatic theme song, you know. Look it up. You'll see what I'm talking about. But God, of all the names, you know, okay, it is what it is. It's just a name, right? It's just a name. We need to remember that. It's just a name. So more importantly, quality-wise, content-wise, what is Eli Drake, now known as L.A. Knight, what's he going to be able to do? I got to tell you, seeing him go in there and cut up on Sam Roberts, the Barstool guy, Wade Barrett, seeing him go in there and just cut them all up, I loved it. And I'm going to take it a step further. I'm happy, but I'm sad at the same time. Let me explain without being long-winded. By the way, welcome to those of you that's checking out the show. See, we've been picking up a couple of more folks that's been tuning in. If you've been enjoying the show so far, please go out of your way. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. You know, like. You definitely want to like. Lets the YouTube guys know you're enjoying the content. Helps them out as far as recommendations. Don't cost you a thing. It's free. So hit the like button. And definitely keep the comments coming because I am seeing what you guys are saying in the chat. It's just a matter of trying to fine-tune, trying to get in there, you know, when it syncs up perfectly to what I'm talking about. Like what Gino was saying. Yeah, L.A. Knight. That's officially his name, L.A. Knight. All right, so let's talk about the good and the bad. What do you want to hear first? You want to hear the good or you want to hear the bad first? Since we keep getting bad news on a consistent basis, let's talk about the bad first. First thing that comes into my mind is, goddamn, that poor NWA promotion. I mean, you look at, you know, sorry, Steve, you voted way too late. I think you guys got like a 20-second delay. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but it's a 20-second delay, sadly. But you feel sorry for Billy Corgan and that NWA promotion. Think about it for a second. For those of you that have been following the NWA, you know from time to time I've talked NWA. Even done a couple of pay-per-view reviews. Allison Kay. Who else? Thunder Rosa. Marty Bell. Eli Drake. Damian Sandow. The Rockers. Not the Rockers. The Midnight Express. My God. There has just been, when you really stop and think about it, NWA has been gutted in more ways than one. A lot of these talents that were in NWA, they played the waiting game trying to see what was going on with NWA while they were still doing the independent scene and making appearances over there and everything. And when this whole pandemic hit, when you really take a step back and you look at it, you look at what WWE is doing. You look at what Impact Wrestling is doing, which, by the way, on most weeks, Impact Wrestling puts out a better show than WWE Raw. Don't take my word for it. I'm not dick-sucking Impact Wrestling. None of these promotions are putting money in my pocket. I'm just giving it to you raw. What's our show creed motto? Keeping it honest, keeping it insightful, keeping it interactive. So I'm being consistent on all of those fronts. Don't take my word for it. Check out the Impact product yourself. You see what AEW is doing. Jesus Christ, you even look at what MLW is doing. All of these promotions. I just watched last month, and Mish will back me up on this, and shout out to Mish. We just watched the Shine Wrestling promotion. We had a nice little hangout in the Discord, and we were watching a Shine pay-per-view event, and we were like, there were some parts that was kind of, but it was good. It was good overall. It was good overall. But my point, you look at what these promotions are doing during this pandemic. Okay, we can't have fans right now. That's fine. We can't have fans. All right. We'll do our very best to put on a TV production show. Essentially, these guys are, when you really stop and think about it, these guys are showing up to a warehouse or a studio, and, they're doing their stuff sometimes before a studio audience. Really stop and think about it. It's almost like the vintage days of classic TV there, right? Jeffersons and all that, when you stop and think about it. So why NWA was not able to, you look at how all the other promotions have been able to lay it out, and for some respected reason, NWA just was not able. And you really feel for them from that standpoint. Especially when you're like, what the hell? What the hell, guys? I see all these other promotions. What's going on with you guys? And you get the occasional, NWA is not dead. And you're like, well, not for nothing, but we haven't seen any new content from you guys in a good minute. So something's going on, because all your talents are going to other promotions. So seriously, what's up? So that's the bad. That's the only bad thing that, when I look at Eli Drake, now known as LA Knight, and I see him in WWE, I just go, man, what the hell? Wade Barrett. Hello? Wade Barrett was in NWA. He wouldn't have the commentating job that he has right now there this go round if it wasn't for people in WWE that got to see what this man was doing with NWA for a hot minute. I mean, he was doing a pretty damn good job. So that's the bad. The good, not long-winded. 2 points. 1, I've always been a big fan of Eli Drake. Personality like a mofo. Oozing freaking personality. At one point, he was one of my highlights when checking out Impact Wrestling before things had got really, really stupid. I would say honestly, once Impact Wrestling made the move to Access TV, that's when the Eli Drake character, for whatever respected reason, It was just a slope, just continued to decline. And it was very, very frustrating. I didn't get it. I felt that he had all the tools. He should have been a long-reigning Impact World Heavyweight Champion. For whatever respected reason, those cards did not play out. It was really weird. I didn't understand it whatsoever. I knew what the man was capable of. My whole thing was he just needs to be at a place where he can be given those opportunities and prove everybody he can't. Prove them all wrong. And you know, it was, for what it was worth, it was nice seeing him briefly there in NWA. It was. And for me, knowing that there was a talent out there like a Eli Drake, I always knew sooner or later, okay, he's going to get picked up. Question is, who? Who's going to pick him up? Is it going to be AEW? Or are they going to pick him up? Or is he even interested in New Japan? Or maybe who knows? Maybe he might come back to Impact Wrestling. That's a possibility. He might come back. Who knows? So, and I know some people are going to be real quick and they're going to be like, he's almost 40 years old. That doesn't mean a goddamn thing. That's just a number. I'm not saying he's Kurt Angle or anything like that, but the guy is a pretty damn good safe worker. I've never heard, as long as I've been watching his career, watching him wrestle and all that, I've never heard of a scenario come about where Eli Drake is injured. He's going to be out for a significant period of time. You know, so this is a good acquisition that they got for him for NXT/WWE. It's a good acquisition. I don't know what the immediate future holds for him as far as, you know, if you guys were to ask me, do I see him being a NXT World Heavyweight Champion? I mean, it's possible he could easily follow in those similar footsteps like a Robert Roode. It's very well possible, but boy, I tell you what, as excited as I am to see this next chapter for Eli Drake, I'm also remembering very passionately, oh, hey, not for nothing, but Robert Roode was off to a damn good start in NXT. Damn good start. And then we see how things ended up for him when he got to the main roster. Is that the cards that could lie in the future for Eli Drake upon coming to the main roster? We'll have to wait and see. But it's awesome seeing these guys be able to get work in other places, especially during these interesting times that we're in. So that much I will say. Let's keep rocking and rolling. All right, we got a couple of more matches here. 3 more matches to be exact for those of you that's kind of wondering what's going on here. Trust me, enjoy this pay-per-view recap for what it's worth, because where are we now? How long we been recording now? 50 minutes, so we're about done. I think this, when it's all said and done, it's probably going to be about an hour, 15 minutes of a recap, but if I can make it less than that, I definitely will. All right, next up, MSK's Nash Carter and Wes Lee defeating the grizzled young veterans James Drake and Zach Gibson in the men's Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic Finals. As a result of these men winning, they will receive a future NXT Tag Team Championship match. You know, Triple H, I guess it's safe to say, Triple H definitely wasn't lying when he said that he's been a big fan of Nash Carter and Wes Lee, because he's been checking out their stuff since they were in Impact Wrestling doing the whole Rascals little thing and all that. By the way, did y'all see Trey Miguel's tweet? He kept it short and sweet. He just said, "I love MSK." And that was it. That was it. That's all you needed to know right there. So I think as far as those that wanted to try to stir the pot up a little bit and, there must be some type of beef going on, there's got to be a particular reason why he didn't come over to NXT, you know, what the hell? And hey, that's his story to tell if he wants to tell it. But all that speculation, blow it up your ass. Just smoke it, blow it up your ass. Just seriously, take it. MSK though, winning the men's Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic Finals. This was, you know what? I got to tell you, this match, I looked at it and I didn't want to think about who could be coming out of this as the winners, but I got to admit to you guys, in the back of my head, I seriously was going, is it even possible that we can give it to a new tag team that hasn't been together in the WWE universe that long? You know, is it really, can we do this? I mean, talk about a huge upset. Can we really pull this off? I was leaning towards Grizzled Young Vets. I really thought that this was going to be their year. They were the ones that were going to be going over, but seeing that it was actually MSK that went over in this one, I think it was the right move that needed to be made. I mean, these guys, look, let me tell you something. This is real talk. And I had shared my thoughts about MSK winning on social media earlier tonight. By the way, I did put up a poll asking folks what did they think about tonight's takeover event. Twitter at the RCWR show. You guys can definitely go pop your head over there and check out the poll. I will probably try to put one up on YouTube after the show is over. But right now, still early votes coming in. But right now over on Twitter, I'm seeing we got about 100% of the votes coming in. Folks are giving it a thumbs up. So that's pretty good. But those guys, when they were the Rascals in Impact Wrestling, phenomenal tag matches. And to the point, those of you that's been checking out the Impact Showdown series I be putting out weekly, I told you guys right before they had broke up and came to NXT and everything, I said to you guys, man, as far as the X Division goes, it's in really good hands, because that X Division title, all those guys, I could just see them trading off on that X Division championship. I said to you guys, I could definitely see one, if not two, of the guys from the Rascals ultimately becoming a Impact World Champion under the right story arc and all that. So that's how much I enjoyed these guys' work. And that was not always the case. For me, all I saw was stupidity when it came to them and their weed segments and all that. And it was at a point where whenever they would come on my TV, I would instantly change the channel. And then one day, I don't know what it was. One day I just said, okay, you know what? Let me really give these guys a chance. Like, I'm being a little bit too hard. I haven't even really been able to check out their in-ring stuff. Let me see what these guys are about. And man, I can't even tell you one of the first matches that I saw them in, but I definitely, okay, all right, oh, okay, I might be wrong about these guys. Let me see what's up. One of my concerns when hearing that they signed with WWE, okay, so what's going on? Are we going to get a continuation of the Rascals? Are they going to be smoking the weed? What's going to be going on here? How are we going to be doing this? And to see how they have been presented so far and everything, I'm down with it. I'm down with it. Watching what they did tonight against the Grizzled Young Vets, one of my favorite tag team matches within recent months. I gotta say to you guys, I felt as if when I was watching MSK, I felt as if I was watching the Rockers, so to speak. That is good. Look, everybody knows when it comes to me and the Young Bucks, my critique of the Young Bucks has been very consistent. I've said you just don't know what you're going to get with the Young Bucks. Are you going to get the type of Young Bucks that's going to go into a tag match and they really want to tell a great story? Or are they going to go in there and they're just going to be all about the false finishes, the multiple freaking super kicks, constantly diving over the ropes, and you get your shit off, I get my shit off, get your shit off, get his shit off, everybody gets their shit off, and false finishes like a mofo, and everybody does their signatures, everybody does their finishers on each other, and the fucking match ends in a roll-up after 30 minutes. It just ends in a roll-up. So long-time listeners know how frustrated I am sometimes when it comes to those Bucks matches, but, looking at what my guys in MSK had did tonight, Y'all connect the dots on what I'm saying right there. In case you ain't connect the dots, what I'm saying is Bucks could borrow a page or two from those guys for what it's worth. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, they might have made their money. Some could say they're doing just fine and all of that. But what do I always like to tell you guys? Quality versus quantity. Quality wins every single day of the damn week. So MSK winning, they get a future shot at the NXT Tag Team Champions. And currently, right now, our NXT Tag Team Champions are... Hang on here. Let me see if I can pull this up here as far as who's our champions here. NXT... I see the UK champions. I see that's Gallus, Mark Coffey, and Wolfgang. Okay. So, hang on. Wait, am I reading that right? Yeah, I'm reading that right. So, hang on here. Who's got the NXT tag team titles right now? Let's see here. Hey, Google. Who's the current NXT tag team champions? Oh, it's Oni Lorcan. Yeah. Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch. Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm good. Thanks. Okay, so Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch. I don't see MSK getting those tag titles in their very first encounter with Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch. I can tell you that right now. They are going to suffer their first defeat. Look, it's been a great rise to see MSK coming in essentially undefeated. And I mean, when you really stop and think about that, I mean, that's pretty bad. That's a hell of a story that's being told right now for MSK in the way that they're being built up right now. So you can't help but just kick back in and really admire that. And again, that's a testament to Triple H and how much respect he has for those guys. Because if he didn't even truly respect them like that, they wouldn't have made it that deep. You feel what I'm saying? Nah, forget about it. So good one right there. All right, see what else we got here. So at this point, we got like 2 more matches, right? Yeah. Triple threat match. NXT Women's Championship. Io Shirai retaining her title against Toni Storm, Mercedes Martinez. Gotta tell you, I was expecting this match to be a little bit longer. I was a little bit disappointed that it ended. For me, it kind of felt a little abrupt. Now, I'm not saying there was something weird going on during the match, and that's why, but it just felt a bit abrupt for me, which was kind of weird. It was, because it felt as though it went 1 gear, and then it was getting ready to go into the second gear. You could literally see it, and then it was, we're good. So match went about a little over 10 minutes there. I kind of felt a little cheated there, because that was, of all the matches for the card, this was the one I was eagerly looking forward to the most. I was not shaken at all of a possible new champion coming out of this. I still felt, despite the fact I hadn't seen but the last 3 episodes of NXT, I still felt pretty confident with what I had saw last, that Io Shirai, there should be no reason why she wouldn't come out of this still the NXT Women's Champion. The girls did good. The girls did good in this matchup, especially Mercedes Martinez. I've always had a great appreciation for Mercedes Martinez. Love that girl. I love that girl. Her shit, man, she's one of the best. Of all the talents that I look at that has been on the independents for many, many years, and it's like, man, when are we going to see them in the WWE? When are we going to see them in the WWE? She's one of those people where I go, man, it took long enough, but man, about freaking time we get to see her. Closing moments of that matchup, Martinez had connected with a DDT as Io Shirai climbed a structure that was over by the announce table. By the way, I shared it on Twitter. There was a hilarious spot where I think it was right before the announcer's table spot, or maybe it was after, I'm not sure. There's a funny spot where Toni Storm's outside the ring. She's on the offense. And you're like, okay, all right, we're about to do something with the announcers table. Okay. And you see Wade Barrett. You see Vic Joseph and Beth Phoenix. They're kind of, something's about to go down. We better go ahead and move here. And freaking Tony Storm. Tony Storm, I mean, she's just laying in the work on Mercedes Martinez. She's trying to set this girl up to put her on the announcer table and all that. So you're like, okay, so we're about to get a insane spot here. Okay, all right, cool. And all of a sudden, I don't know what happened, but Tony Storm she barely touched the table with her hands. Barely touches it. I mean, all she does is she takes that little WWE front cover board. She moves, some of the papers off the desk, a headset, and the table just collapses. It just collapses on its own, and you're looking at that, and you're going, "Damn you, table! You just had one mother-loving job to do. One job to do, and you couldn't even do that right. What the hell is wrong with you?" Hilarious. It was hilarious. But I love the spot that Io Shirai did where she climbed up this beam-like structure that was just outside of the announce table. And she did this great diving spot. It was awesome. I loved it. I wasn't sure what the hell she was going to... I knew she was going to do a high-risk maneuver, but my whole thing was, what exactly is she going to do? Is she going to try to maybe do a corkscrew? Can she pull that? What exactly is she going to do? Girl was crazy. When she did that high beam spot there. Yeah, so she climbed up the structure, did that insane spot. Later on, Martinez had sent Shirai to some steel steps, trying to stop her momentum there. Back inside the ring, connects with a running knee on Tony Storm. Applies is it called the... I don't know what the hell it starts with a K. Kamiogi? I think I butchered the hell out of that. Anyway, kicks out. Storm connects with a headbutt. Nice devastating headbutt. Connects with the Storm Zero right afterwards. That only gets her a near fall. Tony adds a diving headbutt, but then Io Shirai breaks up the pin with a moonsault. Pins Mercedes, retains. So maybe that last little part there is what kind of where's the kick out, right? Because you're looking at all the matches, you could almost make the argument, well, look at some of these matches here. This one match had got, damn near 25, and this one had got, you feel where I'm coming from? But this one, it was the most shortest. Very weird. But all the girls did good. Loved it right there. All the girls did good. See a question that's being asked about Tony Storm. Where do I see or what do I see Tony Storm doing next for NXT? I'm not going to lie to you. Again, I have missed 3 episodes of NXT. So what I watched tonight was strictly all about the pay-per-view. Personal life, I don't need to bore you guys, but personal life, school. Personal life is good. It's just, I'm trying to get ready for the wedding. I got a wedding in June. I got school. I got homework out the ass. So my time to really sit down and watch wrestling. I'm lucky I can get the Monday shows in the books, the pay-per-view shows in the books, and the occasional Impact Showdown, because that's supposed to be a every week thing. But right now we seem to be doing an every other week thing. I wouldn't be, and I'm not going to lie, I would be not the best person to ask, what do I see happening next for Tony Storm and NXT? I wouldn't be the right person to ask for that. If you were to ask me straight up, just given what I've seen so far, if you were to maybe ask me what would I like to see happen next for Tony Storm, me personally, I wouldn't mind at some point seeing her lock up with, I wouldn't mind seeing her in a ongoing feud with Mercedes Martinez. I mean, that's me personally. I wouldn't mind seeing Tony Storm actually mix it up with. For me personally, I think at this point you got to flip Amber Moon. I think you should just go on ahead, flip her heel, see what she can do with that. If you could maybe do a Amber Moon, Tony Storm, I wouldn't mind seeing something like that. That'd be kind of interesting. I personally feel. Another thing that comes into mind right now, again, this is just freestyle thinking. I'm literally just throwing darts on the board. Given the fact that Kushida pretty much, and I don't feel Kushida and Gargano are done just yet, but Kushida needs help. You know what? Kushida and Tony Storm, that would be kind of interesting to kind of balance everything out there. Obviously, you need more allies into the mix, because when you really stop and think about it, you got Gargano, wife, Indy Hartwell, and you got Austin Theory. So I think it makes all the sense in the world if somehow you were to intertwine Kushida with Tony Storm. Be cool if you could somehow incorporate Shotzi Blackheart in there, depending on what last was going on with her and everything. But Shotzi Blackheart, all right, so you got your two girls, you got your one guy, you need one more guy that can, essentially balance things out. So if Kushida, Gargano, all right, well, how do you counter Austin Theory? Maybe you can counter Austin Theory with Dexter Lumis. Is that maybe the direction you go? Or do you maybe go the direction of Velveteen Dream? Where the fuck is Velveteen Dream? What school do you go to? Wink, wink. Velveteen Dream, little diss. Do you maybe go in that direction? So, I mean, there's a lot that those ideas right there. I mean, you could take that, and that's enough of a decent blueprint to run off of and try a little something with that. But that's all I got to say. That's all I got. I hope that answered your question, but that's the best I can do as far as that. Anything more specific, I'd really would need to catch up on the shows, and maybe I can give you something a little better than that. Let's see. Next matchup, Finn Balor, Pete Dunne, NXT Championship. Match went almost 30 minutes. Almost 30 minutes. Damn good match. Damn good main event match. I definitely got to give props to both men for that one. Good match up there. This one, a little bit of controversy, though. A little bit of controversy. Oh, my God. So let's pick this up. Closing moments for this matchup. Dunn had stomped on both of Finn Balor's hands, and he did a nice, the breaking of the fingers, and I love when he does that, by the way. It's so fucking badass. I love when he does that. But yeah, you snapping those fingers, so to speak. Finn Balor eventually comes back on the offense, just hitting with the elbows and all that good stuff right there. Balor connects with the 1916. Or actually, no. It's coming back to me now. They were bouncing off of the ropes. All that went down. Dunn was looking for the bitter end. But then Finn Balor countered the bitter end into a 1916. Both went down. Finn's pretty much holding on to his fingers right there. Tries to snap him. Finn Balor still coming back, though. Rips the mouthpiece out of Pete Dunne's mouth. Yeah, takes his mouthpiece out, hits him with a drop kick, comes in with the coup de grace, tries to go in for the cover, doesn't make it in time, does another 1916. Finn Balor retains the title. That's how I'm remembering it go down. If I got any of that sequence wrong, let me know. But that's how I'm picturing that, how that had went down. Post match is where it got interesting, but again, I can't stress this enough. What both men had did tonight at this takeover event, definitely an instant classic. Would this be a match of the year candidate? Just thinking about the card and everything. Yeah, you know what? I would say it's a nominee. I would say it's a nominee. You could definitely put it in the hat. There were a couple of times there where I legit thought Pete Dunne was going to become the new NXT World Heavyweight Champion. Especially that one point where Pete Dunne knocked out Finn Balor, and you're going, damn, Balor can't even come to. He's not even responding to the referee. This could essentially be a TKO. So Pete Dunne could essentially win via TKO. It had that Samoa Joe, Sami Zayn type of vibe to it, if you guys recall. Yeah, I mean, it was weird how that had played itself out. You're like, shit. Wait. Was it Samoa Joe and Sami Zayn, or was it actually Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn? I think it was actually, trying to remember. Memory's a little fuzzy. That's what happened. Time flies by. You get a little fuzzier there in the head there. It happens. Age catches up to everybody. But in any case, yeah, that was really good matchup though. I enjoyed that. Yeah, but he knocked him out. And you're like, what the hell? Ref jumps in there, tries to separate Pete Dunne, tries to give Finn Balor a chance to come to his feet, and Dunne just smelling blood, just pouncing onto Balor like a rabid Wolverine there. And it was interesting how everything. Shout out to Caden. Caden said it was KO and Sami Zayn. I knew it was either Sami and KO or Sami and Samoa Joe. I just knew it involved Sami in there somehow. I just knew it did. But thanks for that. Appreciate that. So that was pretty good how that match had wrapped up. Post match is where it got really interesting, because post match, we see Finn Balor barely was able to escape with the retain. All of a sudden, Oney Lorcan, Danny Burch, his boys, they come in. Not when I say his boys, I'm talking about Pete Dunne's boys. Yeah, those NXT Tag Champions. They came in there. All three of them started stomping a mud hole on the freaking NXT champion. All of a sudden, you hear the music of the UE. They come out there. You see them in full effect. You see Adam Cole, baby! You see Roderick Strong. You see Kyle O'Reilly. They come out there for the save and everything. All three guys, they roll out. The brawlers, whatever you want to call them. They roll out. At this point, Kyle O'Reilly is looking on at Balor as Balor finally comes to, and he's trying to gather his senses, figure out what the hell just went down. He's looking at Kyle O'Reilly. Kyle's like, hey, man, we're here for you. We got your back, man. Come on, man. You can trust us. We got your back. It's all good. We're not your enemies. We're your allies here. Come on, man. Let's squash the beef already. Whatever's past is past, right? It's one of those type of deals with the hand gestures that he's giving them. And Balor is a little bit reluctant at first. But Kyle O'Reilly, he's like, no, just, focus on me, man. It's like, come on, you and me, we cool. It's all right. It's all right. You can trust us. It's good. So Balor finally accepts the hand up. And you see the pose going down. You see Adam Cole, he's hitting his pose. All the guys are starting to hit their pose. But then right when we see the WWE credit in the lower right-hand corner pop up, and we're like, okay, well, that was a good pay-per-view. You're about to turn it off. Adam Cole just super kicks the shit out of Finn Balor, lays him out cold. Out cold, baby! Yeah, it actually might be, I just may have created a new slogan t-shirt there for Adam Cole there. Out cold, baby! That's a good one. There you go, Adam Cole. Make some money off of that, man. Just holler at your boy, when you make that first 1,000, just give me about 200. I'm good. I need it for my tuition for not this month, but 3 months down the road. You can thank me later. But anyway, fat chance of that happening. But anyway, so yeah, that was pretty cool. Kyle O'Reilly's looking on. He's like, dude, what the hell? What'd you do? What the hell? And Adam Cole, he's just looking extremely pissed off as Kyle O'Reilly is confronting Cole, asking him, what the hell? what the hell? Nah, you shouldn't have done that. Why did you do that? What's wrong with you? What the hell were you thinking? And it seems as though all the men are getting ready to leave the ring. Kyle O'Reilly is continuing to look on at Finn Balor, and he's a little bit reluctant to just leave him hanging there, but he's looking on and he's just disgusted. Adam Cole and Roderick Strong looks like they're getting ready to make their exit out of the ring. Next thing you know, Adam Cole, out cold, baby! Roderick Strong super kicks the hell out of him. Now he's laid out. I won't do it again for you guys. But yeah, he's out cold, baby. And Roderick Strong is now looking on and wondering, what the fuck? Seriously, what the hell? And it was almost kind of one of those, I hate to really read in between the lines, but when you just kind of go back and look at the storyline that was being told there, you're almost left to the impression that in storyline now, Roderick Strong knew that, okay, yeah, I knew Cole was gonna super kick the hell out of Finn Balor. Totally understandable, the NXT title and all that, and just the history. Yeah, okay, got that. But why Kylie O'Reilly? Kylie O'Reilly has been down with us for so long. He's like, what the hell? And you see Roderick Strong, he just has this conflicted look on his face as Adam Cole is barking orders, telling him, come on, let's go, get out the ring, let's go, we're leaving right now. And Roderick Strong is just looking on. Now, at this point, Roderick Strong, very conflicted. Now, see, here's the question I pose to you all. Was he looking at the carnage that Adam Cole caused to both men, or just what he did to Kylie O'Reilly? That's the real question there that needs to be developed more as we go into this next week's batch of WWE programming, specifically for NXT programming. But obviously we got ourselves an Adam Cole that's essentially unhinged, and now you're wondering, why Adam? Why? These men have been with you for so long, fought tooth and nail for you, thicker than thieves, goddammit. Why would you do this? Why would you do this to them? This makes no sense whatsoever. Like, how do you explain this? You might have a case where Adam Cole is going to say something along the lines of he was starting to detect weakness in the faction, and when you see that weakness, you pretty much got to cut it off at its root, or else like a cancer, it's going to spread. So I could see him kind of saying something along the lines of Kylie O'Reilly, looked at him as being weak. For Finn Balor, I mean, that could just be as easy as he has what I want, which is the NXT World Heavyweight Championship. I mean, you could easily just go with that if you want. I mean, I don't really think you need to elaborate any further than that, do you? I really don't think you do. If you do, you could also have Adam Cole, talk about, hey man, we're going into WrestleMania season, and we got Finn Balor. Yeah, he's got the Killian Cross, and yeah, he may have Edge, but he's paying me no mind. He's showing me the ultimate disrespect by not having me in front of his rearview mirror. Yeah, I mean, he could easily kind of go in that direction as well. But obviously, you've got this fracture now in the UE, and you can't help but wonder, truly, is this the beginning of the end for the UE? It appears that way. And if it is that way, then the ultimate question becomes, well, what's next? As far as roster call-ups, what exactly is next? I'll have to wait and see about that. But tell you what, the way they pretty much had wrapped this pay-per-view up tonight, they definitely left some interesting question marks in the air as far as checking out NXT for the next coming week. So that's good. By the way, kiss my grits. I love that Cameron Grimes little video. I love that. I love that little music video that they had of him and all that, and counting his little money and his little Speedos or whatever. I'll tell you, he's growing on me, but I'm still concerned about his quarter segments, his quarter rating segments. I'm still a little bit concerned about that. He's starting to find his little niche, though. I'll say that. I'll say that about Cameron Grimes. He's now starting to become entertaining. And like him or hate him, you got to admit, if you can walk away and you can go, what the hell? You know, you can chuckle, you can have a laugh or whatever. Then as far as I'm concerned, that entertainer is doing their part right. So whatever's going on with this recent tweak that's been going on, I'm liking it. I'm liking it. I'm going to see where it goes. Hey, I want to give a shout out to our Patreon familia, patreon.com/RCWR show. Check out bonus audio, video content you won't be able to find anywhere else. Sign up for $5 a month. Get access to loads of great content. Shout out to Anthony DeBlasi. Shout out to Gino Morgan. Gino Freddy. Shout out to you, my friend. Shout out to J.D. Davis. Shout out to Justin Ripstock. Shout out to Michael Wolf. Shout out to Tony Bean Gaming. One of the latest in all things Marvel Strike Force, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, Marvel's Avengers by Square Enix. Tips, tricks, news, walkthroughs, reviews, Tony Bean Gaming. I know there is a new Hawkeye skin for Marvel's Square Enix Avengers that's got a lot of people talking. There's also a new Iron Man skin. I believe it's called, it's a spin-off of the Dark Knight. And it's actually Iron Man in a red cape. It's really badass. Check it out, though. Tony Bing. He's got a great YouTube channel. And he's got a Patreon paywall as well. And let's see. Programming notes. Monday night. New RCWR show. Tune in for that. That's going to be great. We're going to be on after Raw. Streaming on all the usual platforms. New Impact Showdown is going to be dropping. Patreon members, I do appreciate you all's love and support, but most importantly, your patience. This past week, very hectic for me as far as school assignments. I'm telling you, man, the college workload has been, is all I gotta say. I'm like, yeah, that's all I gotta say. But we should be able to find a nice balance for this week. Because my schedule is a little bit lighter. So I will definitely be putting up some new Patreon content for you guys this week. Probably as early as Monday afternoon. So keep your eyes peeled because I'll have some free time. And I will be dropping a new Impact Showdown as well this week. We should be able to review NXT or put a poll up, ask you guys which show you want me to talk about come Wednesday. So be on the lookout for that poll, okay? Get at me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Use keywords the RCWR show. One more time, if you enjoyed your time here with me, I hope you did. Please hit the like button. Let the YouTube gods know you had enjoyed the content. If you're listening to this on demand and on the downloads later, hit that little heart, share, all that good stuff. It helps out tremendously. You guys have no idea. It helps out tremendously, all right? Again, get at me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Use keywords, the RCWR show. And one more time, please, show your ultimate love. And if you didn't get a chance, check out my 8th annual Slow Jamming with Lee special. I can't believe I've been doing this for 8 years now. 8 years. Check out the 8th annual Slow Jamming with Lee special. It's available right now wherever you get your podcast. Been receiving in private messages, a couple of emails, people on my personal Facebook page and all that. Really had enjoyed the special I had put together this year. So do check that out. Share it with your honey or whatever. Good shit, man. Trust me, good shit. And until next go round, wishing all y'all to be safe. Most importantly, be kind to one another. I'll see you on next go round. Take care.